Anthony Barella, you'll see this Halo Destroyer all day out of him. Trying to get it to leak over, but it's not happening, Philo.
Maybe just a hair or two overstable of the disc.
And Anthony has found the hazard, unfortunately.
Type of a Millennium disc.
And right now, we are watching AB play this incorrectly. This is a hazard. He's playing it as OB. So this right here earned himself a 2-stroke penalty. And he will have that putt for a 6. AB for the 6. Thought it was a 4 at the time, and unfortunately found out. Gotta check that caddy book. Yeah. It's a little trickier this year. There's a lot of alternating hazard and OB, so you really got to be on your game in that regard.
Got to pay attention to the caddy book.
Basket?
Yeah, so there's your marker right there.
Oh no! What is she doing?
So I don't.
So it's a misplay again.
Yeah, and that's out of bounds. I don't know what happened.
Does she
after
realize?
This.
Is she worried about the out of bounds putt, or does she realize she put it from the wrong line?
I think she just realized she put it from the wrong. I don't know which one it is, honestly. But
oh my goodness,
really weird.
World championships bring out some weird things, like your brain just sometimes does not work properly.
It's that added stress, you know.
Yeah.
It can really affect your processing. So
she really should be going back to her lie, because that should be counted as a practice throw. But now she holes out, so it's a misplay. She putted from the wrong lie.
So she's at 3 down right now.
But how does that not be retroactively come into play?
It should, I believe, right?
Like when at the last World Championships, when I threw from behind the tee, I got counted as a misplay that night.
Yeah. So I mean, we can check her score right now and see what happened. I'm not sure, honestly.
That is crazy.
Let's see. Haley King says 3 on Udis still.
And so, Drew's not going to want to run that putt. That's going to be most likely a bogey. That's the only thing. You just have to miss that pole. That is why that shot is so risky.
Bush and bounces back. I don't think there's a wall that's that far back, and so it's very easy to just go right out of the bounds.
Oh, and this is on the other wrong side of the wall. So that will be out of bounds for Kyle. There you can see what the drop zone looks like. So Kyle parked that one.
That's a friendly little bush today.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Sunday, that's bouncing straight back in the drink.
Some frustration here on the green.
Come on, man. What are you doing? Freaking give me
So you're seeing the double bogey there. And that's because there's a little bit of an interesting thing happening here on the green. I'll explain what happened. Kyle Klein throws from the drop zone, gets up there, and finds out that his disc was actually in bounds the whole time. So he was given a practice throw for playing the wrong lie from the drop zone and tapping that putt out. He ended up playing from where his disc was in bounds with 2 practice throws, and he tapped in his 3. So really tough break there. Okay, they're talking about it.
Well, do we have a marshal that we can call? Well, it don't matter now. We have to wait till later.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he had 10 birdies that first round. Pretty impressive stuff. Good height on it. Let's see if he can get back right with that wind.
Yeah, he pulled it out a little wide and does not make it back in bounds.
Did it ever make it back in bounds? I guess we'll see.
Yeah, so from the tee pad to us, it looked like it crossed inbounds about where he's at. The spotter said it did also. We'll let you guys decide after watching it.
Ultimately, it's up to the group, so whatever they call, that's the way it goes.
Yeah, so he's got his par look now. Pretty scary putt, but not too far away. I would say pond. We don't have to worry about the pond right now, though. Joel taps in, or doesn't tap in, but able to make his par putt there.
Joel going high left forehand. That looks to be pretty good.
Looks pretty good, but he's pushed a little long. He drops down just about 20 feet away from the basket, but in a pretty tough spot.
That's an awkward. Oh, then Joel is trying to get to his disc.
Yeah, so right now he's getting in there to mark it. Lots of thick thorns and such out here.
So the trouble with this is trying to get back to the disc. And those are, there's thorns in there. It's just a jungle. He's currently attached to one.
Yeah, it's a difficult area to have 20, 25 feet from the basket. I don't know if it's really a good thing to have this close to the basket. These thorns and things that are here were not deemed as a casual relief area, so it is something that the players are supposed to play from.
Does anybody have another mini?
And
And it looks like he's taking it back from, or what's his plan here, do you think?
so yeah, he has been trying to get in there. He comes over and says that he is not able to get to his lie and wants to take casual relief back behind it. I'm in there looking at it right now saying I could get in there within 15 seconds, I believe, and take this shot. We walk off to talk a little more while he is deciding to go ahead and take his casual relief here, further back behind his disc.
But you cannot take casual relief from something that is not deemed a casual obstacle.
So what was decided afterwards, we went to the next hole, got the TD, and since the majority of the group decided that it was a playable lie and that he could have physically gotten in and got his disc behind the marker that he put down to mark his disc, that it was a playable lie. So his casual relief was then taking a stroke as well. So he was, instead of the 4 throws that Joel threw here, he is taking 1 stroke along with that casual relief.
Interesting. That's something you don't see every day, but yeah, good description of the situation there.
Yeah, and it was like we double checked with the TD on the next tee pad, and then once the round was over, got additional confirmation that was the correct call.
Oh. It's such a tight line.
And Kat is throwing right at the cacti area, which is labeled as casual relief in the caddy book. You can see it is roped off and it has signs, and there's a couple different areas. She's got the skills. Now this is a casual relief area. She should not be standing in it, but she did not read the caddy book, and she just threw the shot so quick. We didn't have time to discuss it as a card. Next thing you know, the course marshal has come over and told us that Kat has thrown from the wrong area. Missy.
So Kat now throwing her 4th shot, but also including those penalties.
But the problem is that we still haven't discussed what's gone on. Hannah doing a little chip into the green with the situation of the relief area with Kat, and she is just playing out the whole
position.
So as Missy's doing her putt, the course marshal is over here talking to Kat on the other side of the bush. I see it, and I know something's going on.
Hannah with the par, which is great on this hole as much as it seems like a short par 4.
It is a very hard par 4.
Very difficult hole.
The tee shot is something else.
Kat, this is her 5th shot.
Kat focusing through multiple distractions on this hole, banging a good putt.
And she already knows
she's got a serious face going on right now.
She knows at this point that she may be penalized.
Yep, she said, I get it, just mark it down.
So here's my question, though. Casual relief, though.
Here's what happened.
Okay.
She played out the hole, and because she kept going with her throws, that turned into a misplay with consecutive throws, thus resulting in 2 penalty strokes. If she would have not played the 2nd shot and played out the hole, it would have only been 1 stroke, and that was the problem. We didn't discuss it as a card. It just all happened so fast, so unfortunately, she did get a 7 there.
Ooh, looks a little...
Ooh,
that's a missed mando, unfortunately.
Did have a situation where it was not clear to the card that she missed it. So they're actually going to play it as if she made it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's how it works.
I think that was the card decision. Fake us a little long. Apparently, also, the crowd was yelling that she made it, which I think mildly like you made it.
Right. Haley with a beautiful hyzer.
Which I think
Getting
might have been
really close to the
That's
basket.
sick, Haley.
Tough to get. She had got some good ground play. That
Yeah.
grass kind of eats the disc once it lands.
Katrina with her M4.
Wow, that's very well played. Right through the middle.
Circle's
She'll have-
edge.
Great job. That's so weird. It seems like it should be like a misplay.
Right. But it's
really confusing to me that wasn't properly played. And also, why weren't her card mates watching to confirm whether that was that was really awkward stroke.
I wonder if that was a result of the mando talk.
The controversy that she just witnessed.
Well, discs don't lie. That one dropped out, so she'll be taken at par.
That is, I don't know how I feel about that. It seems like if I missed the mando, I would know I missed the mando, and then I would just proceed to the drop zone.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like it in coverage.
And then also that 3 other people on the card, and possibly a marshal that should be watching, didn't see this happen and step in to make a
There's rumors it might have even been the spotter that said she made it too.
Oh wow. So I guess we just don't really know what happened.
Yeah.
But that was a missed mando that did not get called.
So that's a stroke.
Because it's not even necessarily the card's responsibility to call a missed mando. It's like when you throw the shot, you see you missed the mando, you proceed to the drop zone. I don't understand how you couldn't see your own disc missing the mando and then play the hole properly after that.
Interesting situation for sure.
Really upset because that was a rive.
It was a slight tailwind today too, which is a really good favorable win for this tee shot, throwing it uphill.
Katrina in a nice spot there, and she's lined up looking like she's going to be playing on that right-hand side. The only mistake you can't make is to hang it too far out to the right and never come back in bounds, because then you get stuck throwing the same shot. If you're going to make a mistake, it is this. She at least gets to progress all the way up and can save a par.
Pretty thick, nasty-looking brush.
I literally just threw a hyzer at this tree
how bad is it? Does it look as bad as it does on camera?
Well, guys, you see no one really wanting to jump in there, so to speak. It's relatively short, but it's got some thorns and some other really nasty brush. So walking in there can really cut up your legs very easily. I was just off the fairway by a few inches on 12 a few holes ago, and it does not feel good. So hopefully we're going to get it found here in just a moment, but we've got to be pushing close to the 3 minutes anytime here.
Just sail over.
Go to the right from the tee pad. And
It's surprising that they haven't found it, given that it wasn't very far off of the OB line.
Yeah, she's actually taking it much shorter than it actually is. We saw it fly over that tee pad. So where she's taking it, she's losing about 50 feet from where she actually went in.
I know, we all watched my disc go out of bounds though. If you throw your disc in a pond and you can't find your disc, you can give yourself a lie. That's not true. That's not how the rule works.
I agreed with that spot.
Our whole group agreed with that spot. So if I throw my disc in the lake and we don't retrieve it, then it's a lost disc? That's what I just said, so why would you...
Well, a little frustration and also some rules discussion, and indeed it is the case that if you know it went OB, and they do know it went OB, then you play it at the spot where it went OB.
Come on, flex out, dang it. Damn it, dude.
And we're waiting on a clarification. Paul Macbeth
has indicated that he'd rather tee from the original tee rather than moving to the drop zone. If Paul is going to call a provisional, as he'd like to re-tee from the tee area versus the drop zone. And Paul Macbeth has now thrown a second one after indicating that he did not want to throw from the drop zone. We are waiting on a clarification. He had called a provisional, just to be very clear here.
Because I called it
He threw
provisional.
from the tee pad again.
Because I wanted to from the tee pad, but we weren't 100% sure if I could throw from the tee pad again.
I haven't heard a rule about him saying that, about Nate saying you can't do that, but we don't know for sure. So Paul said he would play a provisional from here. And so now he has to play his provisional.
There's always an option to re-tee though if you go out of bounds. So he has
unless
to
the TD says otherwise.
Because there's not always.
He's shooting
Because
5,
at
right?
Worlds we didn't have an option.
You're shooting 5 though, correct?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
There's always an option. That's the
He
rule.
said provisional. Just because we don't know what if Nate has made a special case here. So this is his provisional for his third shot.
Because like 17, you have to go to the drop zone.
Yeah, so play a provisional for his third shot, and then he'll play his fifth shot from here also. And then at the end, we'll talk to Nate and figure out which
If I
occurs.
say provisional, is it still doesn't matter?
Right. So you gotta play it out both ways.
Oh my gosh, dude.
So that was your provisional.
Okay, so
Now you play your real, what we suspect is going to be your real fifth shot.
Okay.
I just got off the phone with Mike Krapika. He says under the PDGA rules, or under the course rules, he should have went to the drop zone from the first.
So that was for 3 then.
So then that's the real shot then. That's per the course director.
Okay.
That's why you say provisional. Okay, so the question is.
So that shot didn't count then. The provisional purple one did not count.
No, because
Okay.
you should have came straight to the tee pad.
Cool.
You mean straight to the drop zone.
Or straight to the drop zone.
Got it.
You guys can feel free to double check, but that's the.
Yeah.
So we're getting a clarification here as to if Paul in fact had to move directly to the drop zone or not. I'm going to do my best to go ahead and get everyone up to speed as best as I can. Paul Macbeth had thrown initially OB. Instead of wanting to go to the drop zone, he said he would like to play from the tee for his penalty shot if that was in fact allowed. So he called a provisional, hoping that he could in fact throw from the tee area again. However, his second tee shot ultimately went OB. And then once we got a clarification from the course director, they said that was never really an option in the first place. So when he had moved over here to the drop zone and thrown his shot, that effectively will be his third shot here on this hole. So Paul's looking at either taking a 4 or a 5. And Nico has been visibly frustrated by that, simply because he's not sure that's how it should have been played.
I think you should have to be shooting 5 unless it says that you are 100. Unless it says on there that you are 100% supposed to go to the drop zone. You're supposed to play by the PDGA rules. That's fucking bullshit.